Hi, this is Uriah from Productive Therapist, and this is Vacation, the ultimate test of my business systems. Are you anything like me? Going on vacation has always been a real test, both for how well I can unplug from work and also how well my business runs without me. Maybe you can relate. You know you need to take time off to rest and recharge, but you also love your work, and you get a little nervous about all those unread emails and how things are going to be handled in your absence. So last week, I decided to keep a running log of my vacation activities and how my two businesses operate, both completely without me, and then what ends up needing my attention or intervention. Guilford Family Counseling is 5 years old and quite stable with a good team in place. Productive Therapist is 3 years old and in a growth mode, so it requires a bit more attention, but I also have a good team in that business. 1 week prior, I communicated with all my leadership team about my vacation and arranged personal email and phone coverage by my practice manager, Jamie. She's amazing. I also notified all my employees about my time away and let them know to contact Jamie with questions or concerns. Saturday before vacation, Jamie reminded me that Tiffany, our virtual intake coordinator, was also going to be off on Monday because she requested a long weekend for the 4th of July. Tiffany and I were both actually going to be gone on Monday. Darn, major fail right there. I messaged Jamie back asking if she could cover, but it was literally the 4th of July, so I didn't expect her to respond right away. The next day, Sunday, we packed up the kids in the car to head off on our trip. Of course, this took forever. My wife found me on the computer and asked what I was doing. Just wrapping up a few work tasks before we leave, I said. I was clearing my email inbox, and I checked our messaging system again to see if Jamie had responded about Monday. I shut everything down and did a good job just being with my family for the rest of the day. I also moved all my work apps into a separate folder on my iPhone and put them on the second screen so I wouldn't fall right back into my muscle memory habits. Check email, open Todoist, check Quip for new messages, etc. However, I didn't do this on my iPad and I caught myself checking again around 10 p.m. Still no message from Jamie, and I was really hoping I wouldn't have to return phone calls and emails on my first full day of vacation. Note to self, continue training Vanessa, our newest VA, who will be providing backup for Tiffany going forward. On Monday, today, I'm committed to not working, focusing on my family and getting some solid relaxation in. I'm reading the book Dream Big by Bob Goff, and I wrote the following quote in my journal. Quote, "Sometimes the best way to make progress is by sitting still. Rest is wise." End quote. Right on target. I'm planning on not checking my chat messages until 10 a.m. If Jamie is not able to cover for the day, I will step in and check 2 to 3 times. So I just checked my messages again. Jamie is all set to cover the phones today. She just needed the password to the GFC support email address. Now I'm off to the pool to swim with my kids and read a magazine about backyard barbecuing. Oh yeah. End of the day report. It was a great day of reading, playing video games, BioShock Infinite, swimming, and dinner with friends. I didn't get any work-related texts or phone calls from either business. I enjoyed the day, and I didn't check my email or do any work. Actually, I guess to be totally honest, I did check in on the time tracked by my virtual assistants, and I did reorganize some of my to-do lists. So hard. So Tuesday, I got a call from Jamie at 9:17 a.m. and found out that one of our newer virtual assistants quit on the spot. Oh, Jamie felt badly for bothering me, but it was necessary. We had about a 10-minute phone call to figure out the next steps, and I went about my day. Trying not to worry too much, but of course, my mind was at work trying to sort out how to solve the problems we were facing and strengthen the business. Fortunately, we are headed to Lake Alpine today for a hike and possibly family canoe trip. I'm going to leave my business in Jamie's capable hands. My wife told me that I should do something special for her, and I totally agree. We ended up having an amazing day. Picnic on Lake Alpine, short hike, canoe paddle out to an island, and a chilly swim. End of day report. Today definitely threw me a curveball. However, Jamie handled things very well. I did have to spend about 30 minutes on work-related texts and 1 phone call, but it didn't ruin my vacation at all. I ended up even more determined to improve my business while also coming to terms with what could happen if everything completely fell apart. I'm not defined by my business success or failure, and I want to design my business to serve my life versus being a slave to my business. There's definitely more work to be done, but still I'm proud of what I've built up to this present moment. Wednesday. I felt a little restless and unsure about what to do with myself this morning. I think I'm detoxing from work a bit. I got a message from Jamie to enjoy the rest of my vacation and that she has things covered. That makes me feel good for sure. I spent the day at the pool, eating ice cream, playing games, and reading, feeling quite relaxed and a little more content without needing to be productive all the time. I did spend a few minutes designing a new morning routine based on an interview with Hugh Jackman on the Tim Ferriss podcast. I also came up with some new ambitions to reach for, including going on a guided backpacking trip in a remote or exotic location. That should be amazing. Here's my new morning routine. Wake up at 6:45 a.m., read for 20 minutes, make tea for my wife and I, write for 20 minutes, journaling or work content, write down my top 3 priorities for the day, then take a 30-minute walk, come back, work for 60 minutes on my top 3, check my email for the first time around 10 a.m., and then get back to my top 3 priorities. I think it sounds pretty good to me. During some family downtime, I did somehow slip into my email for about 45 minutes or so. I cleaned things up and responded to a few productive therapist client emails. Everything I did was totally unnecessary and it could have waited, but I did feel a little bit better getting things organized so I won't have to tackle it all when I get home. However, I am realizing again that I really need to try to batch my email processing and keep it to a few times per day versus all day long. It's a huge productivity killer. On to Thursday. Today we made a trip to the little mining town Columbia for lunch, tea, and a little shopping. Then some pool time and finally dinner at the country club in Copperopolis where my friend Ivan is the head chef. It was amazing. All is quiet with my group practice. Jamie has been handling the routine questions and issues around client balances and other small things. Tiffany is signing up new clients and handling intake as a pro like usual. GFC has not skipped a beat. The only problems that have happened this week are related to productive therapist. My counseling practice is very stable and runs efficiently. TPT does have more moving parts and needs more attention, at least at this present moment in time. At this point, my evaluation is that my business systems are solid and my leadership team is even better. I would love to move forward with planning a 3 to 4 week vacation in 2021, clockwork style. Yes. On to Friday. Today we're packing up to head home. This was a pretty short vacation, but we enjoyed it. We're going to Murphy's to get apple donuts, visit our favorite toy store, and walk around the little Irish town. I'm looking forward to getting back to my work, but also reflecting on how I want to avoid letting it take over my every waking hour. I need to be more intentional about how I work, as well as how I rest and how I play. Interestingly enough, every time I take time away from my email and my work tasks, I realize how much my business actually does not need all of my attention all of the time. I'm so grateful to have 2 businesses that can operate without me so I can have time freedom and financial freedom. If this topic is interesting to you, I highly recommend checking out my blog post on how to take an extended vacation and still make money. This is something I wrote last year, and it's based on my 3-week trip to Europe with my family that was quite amazing, and I share some of the ins and outs of how that went down. Hope you have a great day. Thanks for listening.
There's something about us I want to say, 'cause there's something between us anyway. I might not be the right one, it might not be the right time, but there's something about us I've got to do, some kind of secret I will share with you. Je devrais pas, mais qu'est-ce que tu veux? J'y peux rien.